I'm Jeff C. I'm here with the amazing people from Tailwind. I'm just going to call it that because I'm going to let Susan do all the introductions because this is exciting. And I've been gone for a week because I was at Disney. I know, rough gig, but I'm excited to be back with you guys because I always nerd out and love talking with you about all things Tailwind and social media. So it's going to be fun. So Susan, introduce our special guest because, she's very special. She's been on the show before, but it's even more special that she's back.
Out.
Yeah.
She's an expert at jazz hands. Let's see it, Sarah.
Yes, there we go.
This is Sarah Grove. She is a marketing specialist here at Tailwind, and she has an amazing background. At Tailwind, first of all, she's worked in customer success for a long time. If you have interacted with any questions about Pinterest and Tailwind, you probably interacted with Sarah. She also runs her own small business as a floral designer and has been a wedding and events coordinator and calligrapher. She's worked in HR, in the corporate world. She's just an amazing human as well. So Sarah is going to be walking us through some of the more recent changes that we've made to the Tailwind platform. We've been looking forward to this event on Facebook for a while because we now have the ability to create, schedule, and optimize posts for Facebook within Tailwind. So it's a total meta moment here on Facebook now.
And you went with meta. Oh, dad joke. By the way, we also have a blog post that you guys can check out at bit.ly/Tailwind for Facebook. That's all capitalize those letters if you're listening to the podcast. Tailwind for Facebook, each one of those is capitalized. bit.ly/Tailwind for Facebook. Make sure you guys check that out. We do have some of our friends showing up. We have got our good friend from the UK, Brian Farrell, is showing up saying, "Good evening, all." Thanks, Brian, for. I'm interested to know what you think of the new Tailwind because I know you play around with that. So great news. We've got even more people chiming in. So. This is going to be a fun one because, to be honest, I haven't messed with it too much either. So I'm going to ask some really good questions. I know you guys. Sometimes you give me early access, sometimes you don't, and that's just the way it is.
I'm so sorry, but I forgot something important.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So I was thinking about Brian, and Brian, I did this for you. So be ready, okay? Because I've seen you in our episodes every time. The first 3 people who ask a question today will win their very own Tailwind sweatshirt with the new Tailwind look on the sweatshirt. And so, Jeff, I'm going to cover you in that.
I wish I had that with me. They're super comfortable, Brian.
Yeah, I still have, you guys have the softest shirts because I still use the blue Tailwind t-shirt that you guys sent out all of those many moons ago. I love it. And so I'm assuming, because they can see it on screen, the new Tailwind with the little swishy on the...
Yeah.
So is that an internal job? Did you guys have your designers come up with that one? I didn't ask when we talked about this before. Was there a certain person who came across that, or was it like a team effort?
Yeah, so we went through an entire brand refresh process. In fact, while Sarah's talking, I'll pull together a link to our blog post about the whole brand redesign. But we're really thrilled with it. A lot of the executing was done within Tailwind, but we did work with an outside consulting firm as well.
Very, very cool. All right, so enough about the new logo and swag, but the first 3 people will ask questions. T-shirt. So make sure you guys do that. And we also have at Jenny's Place saying, "Hi, everyone. Excited to make this one." So we are excited that you're here at Jenny's Place. So watching from YouTube. So very, very cool. So Sarah, what are you going to talk to us about this new look and feel that's going on here on Tailwind?
Oh, I'm so excited. This has been such a big talk of the town, and it's so much more user-friendly and easier for you to log in. 3-in-1 product, Pinterest, Instagram, and now Facebook. So you guys can post directly from your Tailwind account over into Facebook too.
So you want to share screens?
Go ahead and share my screen for me.
There we go. Take it away.
All right. For further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is our new home screen. If you remember, our previous home screen had all of the insights and analytics on this, so we've cleaned it up. got you a nice little welcome there. So when you log in the mornings, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, how are you doing? So this is the first thing you'll see if you want to go ahead and create a design, upload media with our Tailwind Create. If you haven't heard from or about that yet, highly suggest logging in. I'll give you guys a brief overview and sneak peek at that today. You'll also get a little update on how to make the most out of Tailwind. So you can add additional accounts, set up your auto posting for Instagram, claim your domain. Everything can be easily accessible from your homepage now here. Another really great feature that we've had some great feedback on is the Your Schedule feature now, right on your homepage. It's going to block out those 7 days for you, show you what you have scheduled for Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. You can go back and forth between the weeks, filter, even see what today, if you have anything scheduled, if you have any missed posts that you didn't have set up on auto posts, like those carousel posts. You can see that there. And we didn't get rid of the drafts. It's still there, still accessible from your homepage. Everything is here right when you log in. You'll see those drafts that you have for the future. You want to save them for later. You're still editing them, thinking about what you want to say. They will be located here. And again, you can easily access the Create Design or upload media from your computer or phone. So my feature is create a design. Go ahead and click that here, show you guys what it's all about. And there's another little redesign that we're really, really happy about. It's really cute. So when you hit that create, you're going to come over immediately into your design gallery. And it's only showing my design gallery because I've had my account set up before. But if you're a brand new account, just getting everything set up, you'll want to check your brand settings. It'll take you to your brand settings first. And this is where you'll add in that Tailwind or add in your website or your brand name. You can pick your fonts. That'll either be the fonts on your website. We can pick those up, or you can pick whatever fonts that you'd like, or try out some of these curated fonts that we have for you guys.
Can I ask a question real quick, Sarah?
Absolutely.
So let's say I have my brand thing set, but let's say, because, Pinterest is so seasonal and Instagram has, a lot of people trying different aesthetics on their Instagram feed. Can I store more than one kind of brand color in this, or am I limited to those 1, 2, 3, 4 colors that I can put in there? Can I have more than one, like setting?
You have more than one of these colors, or have all 4 of them?
Like more than one, I guess, branding kind of layout. Or do I have to switch them each time?
You'll have to switch them each time.
Okay.
Well, these will be, when you log into your brand settings, these will be your main brand colors that you have there. And you also have your logos. But let's say you're uploading something for seasonal. You can come in here on the actual design that I'm about to show you guys. You can change those colors there. These brand colors will just always be there for your specific brand.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like Jeff said, your brand colors updated here. Those will stay in your brand settings saved. You'll also have the ability to pick through any of these curated brands or brand colors that we have for you. Upload your logo and you'll be good to go. Once you have all your brand settings ready, head back over to that design gallery. There's a few ways that you can add in some photos here. You can upload your photos from your computer. You can pick from some stock photos if you're looking for some inspiration, need some ideas on some posts. So let's type in, let's see, Thanksgiving. It's a little late to do Thanksgiving, but we're right around the corner. So hope you have your Christmas stuff planned and ready to go. So let's say this looks like a great little excerpt. So we'll pick that one. It'll show up here. And once you have those images picked, ta-da, you have a ton of designs created right there at your fingertips, ready to go. I will show you guys what the site photos look like as well. Let's remove this. I'm going to pick from this is actually a Tailwind member, and I love using her site because she's got really great, beautiful photos. So keep that in mind when you are creating your pins. So let me copy this URL. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in that URL spot there. And while it is thinking, it's going to bring up all those images that were specifically on that URL for me. So let me go in here and pick one photo. I'm going to, let's see, what's a good side? Let's do some pie. We've got some pie ready to go.
I am always so hungry after this. It just
I
every
wanted
time.
the pie too. I'm glad you picked the pie.
Hey, great minds think alike, Susan. But you'll see here, once I've picked that pie, it automatically inserted that photo into all of these beautifully created designs. If I want more than one photo, I can add in multiples here. So let's go ahead and let's just make this a dessert post. So I've got a sweet tooth going right now.
Oh, man.
So it's going to take both of those two photos and add them into your multiple. God, what are those collages are pretty popular too, collage photos. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this first one here. Oh, wait, nope, sorry, edit. We're going to select edit. And once you hit that edit, it's going to open up another advanced settings for you and to be able to edit the logo, any of the features on the specific design. You can update the colors. And specifically what you were talking about, Jeff, let's go ahead and let's see. Photos. I want to change the background. You can change the background here. Pick any of those any of those colors that you'd like. You've got your brand colors specifically that you put in your brand settings, but you can also come down here and pick multiple different colors.
This is awesome for people who are color challenged like me. So it's amazing.
Exactly, Jeff. Go ahead and pick any of the colors that you'd like, the best suited for your site. So we changed that background, got that updated. I'm going to go ahead and come in here and change some of this text. You'll see these little edit boxes pop up on the right-hand side for you to change any kind of layers, bring it forward, send backwards, change the font, any of the specific text size, shadows. You name it, we've got it for you to edit. So let's go ahead and change the color here to make that more visible. Right there, there we go. There we go, we can see that a little better. So that looks good. I'm ready to save it and go back. And what that is going to do is sit it right there in the design gallery again. I'm gonna go ahead and select it, and that'll be saved in my designs. But what's even better is I wanna use this across multiple networks.
Cool.
So what I'm gonna do is go up here and hit this post types. And what that's gonna show me is what it's gonna look like for Pinterest, Instagram, my Instagram stories, and my Facebook. So I can schedule content for all three of those platforms. So I'm gonna go ahead and select.
Did you say all three?
I said all three. All three.
Awesome.
So stories as well. That's the thing that I think is cool, is stories too.
Yep, yes. Stories. So I'm gonna go ahead and select Pinterest, Instagram, and my Facebook feed here. Everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and go review my designs. So it's got that one I edited to have the white or the yellow background. Everything looks good. And if I want to switch something here, you have the ability to switch something kind of last minute without having to go completely back to that design gallery.
Very cool.
I'm going to go ahead and schedule. Oh, wait, there is the ability to download. So if you want to take any of these images and maybe download them and save them for your website, maybe put those in the background. So when somebody hits the Tailwind browser extension or hits the Pinterest extension, they can go ahead and bring those up directly from your website and share it with their audience as well. So we're going to schedule out those designs. It's going to show me which accounts that I have those posts ready to go. I'm going to pick each one that I want. And since my Facebook is currently not connected to my account, it's going to give me a downloading option. But if you do have your Facebook connected, it's going to show Facebook specifically here for you.
So, real quick, there's a good question, and I'm horrible with pronouncing names, but Miatal says, will a different account be needed for IG, Facebook, and Pinterest? I currently use only for Pinterest.
So if I'm understanding your question correctly, are you asking if you need a different account on Pinterest for all three of these? And the answer is no. You can have your Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook all connected to one Tailwind account. So one login, one thing to keep track of. You can have everything there on one.
Yeah, cool. And she also says, I love Tailwind content, the create tool. So she thinks that's really, really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're sending
too.
Sorry, Sarah. We're sending some swag your way. Miatal, thank you for the question. And we'll connect later about your address for all of that.
Oh, she's talking about, is it different? She meant different billing. So like, do you have to have a different Tailwind account for each one of those?
Like, no. All the billing can be the same too. So if you want to have one Tailwind account, have your Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook there, it can be one billing setup, everything.
Cool.
We do have your Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook under one annual plan too. So you don't have to pick different plans for each one.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to simplify everything as far as logging in and being able to use Tailwind. Even if you're using Tailwind for Pinterest and Instagram now, it's so much easier because you can do it all through one account.
Yeah, Brian says he had a Tailwind Pinterest account and an Instagram account, and now they have been combined. So
beautiful. Makes things so much easier, doesn't it, Brian? So let's go ahead and move forward. I really want to show you guys how this populates on the actual calendar that I showed you before in that homepage. Before they show up there, what you'll need to do is add in your captions. So Thanksgiving pie recipe. Add in your caption, pick out your hashtags. We've got some great suggested hashtags in each one. You can pick if you want your, your Instagram post to be auto-posted or post reminder, which the post reminder will be given if you do any kind of carousel post. You can add your location and then go ahead and pick something from your smart schedule that you want that one to go out. So I'll go ahead and let's post that Monday for any last minute recipes people need to bake for for your Thanksgiving table this next week. Here we go. Got that one checked. And if I want to add this one to my smart viral link, you certainly have the ability to do that right there.
That's cool.
I'm going to schedule that post. Looking good. That is scheduled. I'm going to come down here to my Pinterest one. Start writing in my description. And since I actually pulled it from the website, it's going to put a title there for me already. So you've already got one step knocked out for you. Thanksgiving pie recipe. Boom. I'll go ahead and pick our boards. Oh, thanks. The recipe doesn't really fit in a lot of our stuff. So let's go down here to Pinterest. I'll do some pinspiration. There we go. It's going to add in that URL for me already since I added it in during the create process. I'll go ahead and pick one of these dates that I have on my schedule already. Looks good. Or you can add a custom time whenever you'd like.
So real quick, yeah. I want to ask something. So in the under the URL, so let's say I was really a super tracking nerd. Could I go ahead and add my like UTM tracking code at the end of that and it would update there as well in that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do have the ability to edit the URL here as well. Okay, we've got our time, and you can also add to communities too right here as well. So again, really going back to that simplifying all the steps for you, making everything easy. We're going to go ahead and schedule our Pinterest post. And voila, look at that. It is populating right there on my schedule. Let's go ahead and check out for next week. Boom, looks good. We've got things ready to go. And you can skip ahead into the future. You've got things scheduled and labeled out. You can see everything in the future as well.
So Brian has a good question about scheduling. He's talking about like spacing out them. So if, let's say he creates 5 designs and he wants to do, instead of like 5 consecutive days, he wants to do them like the next 5 weeks, like every Monday he wants one of those images to go out. How would he do that?
You do have the ability to use our interval pinning feature. So let's say you have one post, you want to schedule it out maybe once or one post every week for 5 weeks. You can schedule those out 5 days apart, 6 days apart, 7 days apart, or even up to about 2 months, like however far apart you'd like to schedule those. Use that interval feature, Brian.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and show you kind of what that looks like. I will grab another design here. So let's put that back in. Let's use that ravioli because that looks delicious. Let's get that up here. Okay, now I used the Brussels sprout, the bacon Brussels sprouts one the other day. That looks really good.
Yeah, you said you were going to make those. Let's discuss wrapping Brussels sprouts in bacon. Is that really how you want to use your time? Is it worth it?
It is. If you've ever had it, it really, it's worth it every
Are you serious, Jeff?
Yes.
I was just picturing myself and thinking that's a bridge too far.
No.
Oh,
Nothing's really too far with bacon. I'm sorry. It's just
that's how my husband is. Anything with bacon, he is on board. He'll try it out. Okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and select that bacon one.
Yeah, someone put bacon all over my car one time in college. It's kind of a practical joke.
Ew, was it like raw bacon?
Yes, it's a very effective way to slow down someone's use of their car because you have to like get all the grease off. And
I thought you meant fry it up and eat it. That would take time, but you meant something else.
No, I think I just got rid of the bacon since it had been on my car overnight.
Makes me cry a little.
Yeah, sorry. I took this in a really unexpected just mute me, Jeff.
Yeah,
goodbye.
Sorry.
Look at what bacon just brings up so many memories in so many situations.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay, so Brian says we're wrong. They eat bacon differently in the UK, I think. So he says don't do that to bacon. So he doesn't. I'm thinking he doesn't like Brussels sprouts. So.
Okay, so let's grab another one here, Brian. I'll go ahead and show you that feature. Grab it here. Again, it's in that Pinterest design. Go ahead and select it. Go ahead and schedule my design. Confirm it for Tailwind. Now let's go over here. Make sure you put in your description. I'll just put in a test one here. Select your board name. And then I'll select another board name. Let's see, one more. So I'm going to go ahead and use a custom time. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and save it for later so I can show you guys what it actually looks like in our drafts. Let's head back to the home. Here we go.
Very cool.
You can see it there. We've got 3 there. It is supposed to show additional boards are optimized to pin weekly. So what it's going to show you is all of this schedule preview. We've got them specifically set 7 days apart, what it looks like right here. So it's going to show you, it's going to post November 20th to the first board, November 27th to the second board, December 4th to the third board. So however many days you separate those out, it'll give you time slots for those days and how far in the future you want to do it. So if that answers your question for our interval pinning feature, Ryan, there you go. But if you have any other questions about it, send us your questions.
Cool.
Boom. And that is a brief overview with a lot more details on what our new experience is going to be able to provide for you all.
So is there anything, so I want to go back a little bit to the Instagram scheduling too, because that's a really cool thing. You can do them all at once. Yeah. So on stories, is it push notification or can you actually schedule it to go out on a certain day and time?
It is push notification for stories now, right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I think I just want to make, so people don't have that question, that's an API issue. That's not a Tailwind issue, that they have to have push notifications for stories, that you can't just schedule it like some of the other things. So
yes, but anything you do as push notification as well as stories, it's going to show up here in your schedule.
Okay.
So you'll see your story post ready for that day.
And for those of us who don't know what push notification is, that means it gives you a thing on your phone and you do it that way, correct?
Yep. Sends you a text message or sends you a message from the app, lets you know it's time to post, go in and post away.
Yeah. And it would be nice if it did automatically, but once again, that's the gods at Instagram and Facebook. They're the ones who are in charge of that. So
yes.
Not Tailwind. Yes.
Yeah, we
All right.
wish we ruled the world, but
Yes.
we don't. Actually, do I wish we ruled the world? No, not really.
I don't think that.
So that is very, very cool. By the way, I will try to, let me see if I can put this, if you guys want to go to a blog post, let me get this here, because once again, we're doing this on the fly. So you guys can go, look how fast, boom. That's why I love Ecamm.
Oh my goodness.
You go to bit.ly/Tailwind New Look. That's all capital letters, all smashed together. bit.ly/Tailwind New Look. That will kind of walk you through some of the stuff that Sarah just talked about, where you can, see how things work and things, they're generally in the same place, but if you get confused, it's a good walkthrough for that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys check that out.
Actually, I'm sorry, Jeff. I gave you the wrong description on that.
Oh.
The Tailwind New Look link is to our process for the brand refresh that we went through.
Okay. Forget what I just said, everybody. Totally wrong.
We were talking at the beginning about how we have a whole new set of colors that we are using. We also have a new logo, and as part of that, we went through an entire process with our internal team and also an external team to develop a brand that we thought really better suited where we are in time. Tailwind is actually 10 years old. And so just like with anything 10 years old, sometimes you have to dust off the way it looks. So that's what that one is.
And Brian had a great point here. Says you can go back to the old interface while you're getting to grips with it. So that's a good feature too. Like if you're like, where's that button I used to press? You can go back and then kind of get used to it. I'm sure that eventually the old interface will go away. So get familiar with the new. So, but for now, you do have that option to switch back and forth. But as always,
it's still under the old publisher button too. So you'll see it on the left-hand menu, right between your Smart Bio and your Insights button.
Yeah. So Shauna says she's kind of lost. She got here late. You can watch this will be a replay right underneath the show. You can watch this again and watch Sarah's amazing walkthrough and see how it all works with the new interface. And you can ask your questions in the comment, and a member of the Tailwind team will come back and answer that. And we're still, have we got 3 people? I think
No. Okay. So Shauna's our second question.
Okay.
Shauna is going to win a Tailwind New Look t-shirt. We'll get those sent out on Monday. So thank you, Shauna, for your question. Maytal has won a shirt. And Brian, I'm just grandfathering you in because you are always here and always in our comments. So we have our 3 winners.
Okay,
cool.
You'll
get your Tailwind swag. It will be, I'll DM you to see where I should send said swag.
They're super cozy.
Yes, they're very nice. I don't even have one. They're going to make me buy it. But do you have any recommendations for how many pins a day are ideal on Pinterest? I know this question happens a lot.
Yes. So what they're recommending right now is about 10 to 15 pins per day. Tailwind Create is going to help you kind of get those pins together for one post, maybe create up 5 pins for one post that you have for a blog or for a recipe or for a product or anything like that. And another thing to consider, if you don't have enough content to post up to that 10 to 15 per day mark, head over into communities. Our communities is thriving with content, thriving with like-minded people to look through that content, look through the specifically for Pinterest is communities. But those will kind of fill in the gaps for your schedule that you're really looking for some inspiration, or that your audience will love that content too.
Also, So somebody says, Brian says, so my 35 pins a day may be a bit much these days. Hey man, if
Pinterest
it's
is
working,
coming for you, Brian.
yeah,
Don't,
the Pinterest
don't
police are coming.
run.
I think I mean, it's what's working, but I would experiment and see what
Mhm.
was working the best for you, because the algorithm does change, and it's also seasonal. And I know you're a photographer, and so it may change, especially with the wedding photography, Brian. I'm not sure, but I would experiment and see if you bump it down a little bit, if you get better reach with those and more clicks or not. So who knows? That's just the general recommendation. I want to have a.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, I was thinking about the Facebook piece of this, and so one thing that I think is a good rule of thumb with Facebook. Now we talked about how many posts per day for Pinterest. With Facebook and Instagram, you also want to have a very consistent posting schedule, and this platform can make that work a lot better for you as well, because you can batch create the posts that you need for those networks as well. So don't forget to, while you're creating posts for Pinterest, if that's your area of expertise, to go ahead and create those posts for your Instagram and Facebook feed as well.
There's something about being productive when you have one place to log in. It makes a huge difference, especially if you're putting out a lot of content. Being able to focus and just do one thing in one spot and do it all at once, and you're done. There's something about that that's pretty amazing. One of the things I would encourage people, if you haven't dropped into, and you kind of saw it, and if you're jumping in late, go back and watch what Sarah was showing, but how cool Create is. And it's kind of like if you ever try to get to the end of Netflix, you can never get there. It's almost feels that way with Create. There's so many templates there. There's so many different ideas, things that you haven't thought about. And if I'm right, they're always refreshing those. There's always new ones coming in. They have a template factory. They have little elves working right now as we speak, creating these amazing Create pins. And so if you haven't been there for a while, go check it out, because there's some really cool stuff, some ideas that you may have not thought of. They do seasonal stuff. There's just and you can break it down and kind of dive into some different types of pins, like the carousel ones that Sarah was mentioning. I think there's actually templates for those, quite a few of them, and those are changing. So check that out if you haven't in a while, because it's really, really cool.
You can also filter between what type of content you want to create. So if you're a blogger, if you're a food blogger, if you're e-commerce, you can kind of go back and forth between what kind of business you have as well.
Do we have a bacon lovers set? Because I feel like that might really go well.
I have a bacon board. I'm just saying.
For bacon lovers, that could really.
I have a bacon board. It does very, very well, by the way. So Shauna has this question. I have a question. How long until they get into the algorithm? The only pins that are being pushed are from about 6 months ago. So if you figure that out, Shauna, let me know, because I'm still trying to figure this out too. So the algorithm is, I can't figure it out. So keep pinning. Just keep pinning. Just like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep pinning. And I don't know, do you guys have,
I do have a couple of thoughts on that, but one of them is that we had this is from about a year ago. Some of our users were finding that if they went back to some of their older pins and then refreshed the creative and then repinned with those refreshed creative, that was getting a large boost for them. So that might be something that you could try. Another is just to pay attention to the analytics. I mean, I think I spend half my life as a marketer looking at the numbers to see what worked. So reading those tea leaves is, I guess, never going to go away for any of us.
So this is why I love the community. So Brian says, I've used Create loads, love it, and it's different every month. So he loves the new templates that are coming out. And he said he's finding static pins have much slower burn lately. So he must be on his phone. That's like typing like I do.
Or it could be laterally. Is that a British thing?
That probably could be. They eat baked beans for breakfast, so you just never know.
They're fancy. They're fancier than us.
I know. What? So this is a great question. Can you schedule idea pins into Facebook and Instagram?
You cannot. Not at the time. Not at the time. You can schedule them manually if you want to create something along the lines of an idea pin, which is basically video, which is very popular right now. Everybody's getting into that realm. So specific idea pins, not yet.
Yeah. So very interesting with idea pins. Who knows what's going to happen? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm just kind of bopping around today, but I was thinking about things that you aren't necessarily scheduling, and one way application that I see for Create, particularly with Facebook, is being able to download your creative, and then if you're advertising on Facebook, using Tailwind to create your visual assets, and then the download function to get those into all of your paid ad platforms as well.
Yeah.
I've even heard of some people who've made the create pins and then they're actually they're downloading those and actually talking about them as a background for TikTok. You know, that green screen thing where they're doing a blog post. They're doing a blog post, you know, and they make it and create. They download it and then they can put it to the background and use that for their TikTok, and they're talking about their blog and come follow me here. Look, I'm talking about this right here, and they're pointing up and stuff. So you can.
I love that idea.
Yeah. So there's tons of different
cool
things
humans?
you can do. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's really creative. That's awesome. We'll have to share that with the team.
Yeah, anything where you can do, and you could do it with YouTube Shorts as well. I mean, do you think of any time of these, which the algorithm's really doing, just like Pinterest and idea pins, even those other short form contents like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, all those different things, you know, think about how you can repurpose some of that content you're making in Tailwind Create in those other areas, because stand out in the feed. That's what we want. So.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Shauna. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Happens every week.
It does.
Susan butts in. So Shauna's asking, what is refresh creative? And Shauna, I think that was when I was talking about refreshing the creative. If you pinned to a blog post before, grab that link, drop it back into Create in Tailwind, and get 5 or 6 new designs for that blog post, and then test those out by pinning them to the same boards. So that's another good way to kind of zhuzh up some of your older posts without a lot of work on the content.
Did you say zhuzh up?
I did.
Is that a New York word? Because we don't use that here in Texas.
Really?
No,
you don't zhuzh?
No,
it
sounds dangerous.
Okay, in Texas, you wrap a lot of things with bacon, but you do not zhuzh.
We do not. I personally do not, because it just sounds bad. But anyway.
Well, it just sounds like you're zhuzhing things up with bacon.
I don't know. You could get arrested here for doing that. So she goes, "What?" This is another one from Shauna. And Shauna, you're not asking too many questions. This is why we do this live, so you guys can have a chance to ask these. What is the answer to hashtags in Instagram into comments, or maybe either like hashtag the first comment, I think what she's saying, or in the actual post? Do you guys have an answer for that? I've heard it doesn't matter, but that's just me.
That's what we've heard. It doesn't matter. You can add it in your first comment. You can add it in the second different comment, as long as you have some there to get some notice.
Right. There was just a study published recently. I can't remember where it was at, but it was like they did a analysis of like 18 million Instagram posts, because even the Instagram creator account said you only need I think it was 8 to 15 hashtags. I think that's what Instagram creator said. But they found that the more hashtags that you use, the better they still do. That's even going against what Instagram's saying. So once again, just like Brian was asking, what to do, how many posts a day, how many pins, you got to experiment, see what works, because the algorithm, it is a changing. So yeah, Shauna saw it as well. I wasn't making it up, so I have verification. So.
A/B testing, yes, like Jeff said, A/B testing.
That's right. Always test. And things will work for maybe a month, and then you're like, what's going on? That's what's so cool about Pinterest and the stuff you can track with Tailwind, is that you can run these things and it doesn't hurt your account, and they don't pull you for running A/B tests on Pinterest, so you can experiment and see what's working.
Absolutely. If you want your hashtags or your captions to look nice, though, you can use the different kinds of fonts and things that are available in Tailwind when you post through Tailwind. So you can get a little creative with your fonts and things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the hashtag finder is pretty cool too. So.
Yes, you can zhuzh up. This is in context, so everyone knows. You can zhuzh up your captions with Tailwind, and you can zhuzh up your hashtags with Tailwind. Just means fancy it up a little.
Yeah.
I don't think Jeff's going to be doing any judging.
I'm not. Sorry. Throw my back out or something. It just wouldn't be good. I'll go to the hospital. It wouldn't be good. So if you guys have any more questions, this is all about you. We're going to start wrapping it up, but make sure you guys go check out these blog posts. We have bit.ly/Tailwind for Facebook. That's all about using it across the different platforms. And also we have the new look. If you're wondering, why did they do this with the font and the swirly thing in the W?
Wait,
Yeah, it's right. Don't point at my head. It's right. I'll get out of the way. That's all about how the Tailwind new look and why they did it and what's the thought behind that, which is always good to understand if you're into marketing and branding, because it's really cool. So Brian says scripty fonts. No scripty fonts.
No
Brian,
scripty fonts
on Instagram either. So anything else before we wrap things up? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Shauna, for all the questions, and Brian, as always, for being here. And all of you, the people who won, which I don't even have one. I haven't even seen them yet. These
Jeff, I'm sending you one too.
Sure, I've heard that before. The check's in the mail, the shirt's in the mail. Sure, whatever.
Oh, you're
anyway,
gonna get a shirt.
Thank you guys so much. Anything else that we are forgetting, or any questions you guys have? Now's the time to ask. So,
I do want to say, if you want a shirt today, so Shauna, Miatal, and Brian, watch your DMs from me, so I can actually deliver those to you. Not in person. I'll probably use a mailing
zhuzh them
service
up to
of
you.
some sort. No, that's not the right use of zhuzh. No.
See, Siri didn't even know what that meant when I said it. She just went off and said, "What is that word you just said?"
Siri went off when you said judge?
Yes. Shh, don't say it. She doesn't like it.
Oh my goodness. Hey, thanks
Word
everyone
of the
for being
Facebook
here.
Live.
Right.
Yeah. I hope everyone has a great holiday season, by the way. So it's been a year. There have been lots of, the world is hard these days. So we're really thankful for our audience here and for all of you. So just wanted to make sure that we took a second to say that as well.
Yep. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Tailwind basically being my marketing team. My party planning business is thriving. What do you use?
I like to post things, and then I have this spreadsheet that's all color coordinated that I keep.
I'm saving so much time that I finally learned how to DJ. Now I plan and DJ bachelorette parties, weddings, baby showers too.
My parties are fun too.
And because Tailwind automatically creates and schedules my social media marketing, business is really taking off. Sales goal! And to celebrate, I planned an alpaca party! I've always wanted one. Thanks, Tailwind! Mwah! Woo!